I'm sorry, I'm not Ariana Grande.
Clearly.
You know what you love more than watching endless Victorious reruns? Watching Victoria Justice, Ariana Grande, Elizabeth Gillies, and Danielle Monáe mess up their lines, fall over, and suffer epic prop fails. Who made the most mistakes on set? Ariana Grande made her voice much more high-pitched when she played Cat Valentine.
Hey, that boy over there is eating Funky Nut Blast.
So it's easy to tell when she drops out of character, and that's what happened when she kept saying role instead of part.
Oh yeah, and then Jade would get to play your role.
Part.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, and then Jade will get to play your role.
Part.
I'm gonna kill myself. Okay.
It's one thing to get your line wrong once, but to mess up over and over again, that's really frustrating for everyone, none more so than Ariana herself. It's all sorts of fun to sneak a behind-the-scenes look at the show, especially when it involves epic fails like these bloopers. It's not just their memories that let them down. These actors also had their bodies to blame for some of the funniest bloopers on the show, like the time when Victoria Justice fell right off her chair. It's not often we get to see Tori Vega making such a hilarious mistake.
So, what's this stunt you're supposed to be doing? Okay. Gorgeous role.
We're certainly glad she didn't actually hurt herself, because that means we get the green light to laugh along with Victoria. And with her castmates too. Who knew a chair could be such a tricky prop to master? Sitting on a chair shouldn't be that hard, right? But standing on a table in a pair of skyscraper high heels, we can appreciate why Danielle Monáe toppled right over. Her character, Trina Vega, was so excited to show off her new shoes, and it seems like Daniela got a bit too carried away in the moment.
Fazzini boots! Got 'em at Simone's! On sale!
To be fair to the actor, she tried really hard to carry on, but once you've fallen off a table, it's pretty hard to come back from that. Actors have so many lines to learn, you'd think they wouldn't have the energy to memorize more than they needed to, but that's exactly what Elizabeth Gillies did when she accidentally said Ariana's line. Jade West talked right over Kat as the pair of actors said the same phrase at the same time.
You know you can't sing here.
Why would we want to?
Ariana didn't seem to mind though, she just laughed at her co-star's mistake. Hey Elizabeth, don't make it harder than it needs to be, just learn your own lines next time. We have to take our hats off to actors for remembering all those lines, and we're not surprised that they sometimes forget what they're supposed to say. But forgetting what their own character is called, that's pretty hilarious. And Ariana gave us that laugh when she included the name Kat in a list of people.
Andre, Robbie, Beck, and Kat.
Whoa, I'm Kat.
There's that unmistakable change in the pitch of her voice when she realizes she's referred to herself in the third person. It's thought that this blooper is a reference to the SpongeBob SquarePants episode called Missing Identity, when Patrick says, "Hi Patrick, no wait, I'm Patrick." In showbiz circles, they say never work with animals, and Victoria discovered why when she tried to put a bunny rabbit down, again and again. To be fair to the actress, she tried her absolute best to keep the bunny still without hurting it, but when a rabbit's made up its mind, nothing's going to stop it hopping away. At least Victoria wasn't hopping mad. She saw the funny side of the frustrating situation, and that bunny is still totally adorable. They also say never work with children, but that's usually because they're the ones messing up the scene, not because they're the ones pointing out the older actor's mistake. However, that's just what happened to Daniela. A 9-year-old extra put her in her place when she messed up her lines during an airplane scene.
Stop kicking my seat! Wait, I don't know how I can say so to that.
To give Daniela credit where it's due, she immediately admitted it was her bad rather than trying to blame it on anyone else. But Victoria still took great delight in pointing out that a little kid called her out. We didn't realize the words "help take care of Trina" were quite so tricky to recite. That is, until Elizabeth kept getting her words in a muddle again and again.
I gotta take care of Trina.
You want to stay here and help get you? You want to stay here and help get care of?
I'm so sorry.
She just invented a whole new tongue twister for the rest of us to practice. Actors have to multitask all the time. They need to remember what actions to make and what words to say, so we completely understand that sometimes they can't keep on top of everything. Like when Ariana got so carried away with her actions that she forgot everything she was meant to say afterwards.
What? I just forgot everything. I was gonna say don't tell anyone.
Sometimes when you're juggling a lot of balls, some are going to fall down. At least she had a laugh as she realized her mind had gone blank. You know what doesn't seem so hard to say? Little girl. But Victoria just couldn't get her head, or should we say mouth, around it.
You were the little. One more time. Sorry. Oh my God! You were one more time. Sorry. The little girl. That's hard to say.
She had to do take after take to get those two simple words right. If you've ever sat up close to a live stage show, you might well have seen spit flying from the actors' mouths as they clearly pronounce each syllable. And Daniela experienced that issue when she accidentally drooled down her own face.
Chicago! I just spit.
The thing is, we wouldn't have been any the wiser if she hadn't pointed it out. She could have carried on regardless.
But it was just drool, you know.
So far, we've learned you should never work with animals or kids, but scissors? Your mom probably told you not to play with scissors, right? We guess Elizabeth wishes she listened to that advice when her scene with a pair of scissors went awry. It just goes to show that sometimes the props will mess you up.
They lost their sizz!
She was lucky that it was just an instrument case that the scissors got jammed into. It could have been so much worse. We've already seen, or should we say heard, how Ariana's voice can change a lot.
Oh, and then Jade will get to play your role. Part! Can I do it again?
Sure, she knows she's got amazing vocal range as a singer, but she also has a wide range in her speaking voice too. And in this scene, she takes her voice to an even lower pitch when messing around.
Hey, Dory.
She keeps in character though by calling Victoria Tori. We love seeing the cast playing around like this and letting loose a bit. We're not sure that the director would agree with us though. Ever wonder why the cast sometimes can't say their lines right? Victoria explained it all when she said her tongue was numb and she couldn't say "this is." She even tried to warm up her tongue by making a load of funny sounds with it.
Yeah. This is our. Yeah. This is our. Oh my God! I can't say this is.
We can appreciate that after talking all day on set, your mouth is going to get pretty tired. We're surprised it doesn't happen more often, to be honest. Maybe they should teach tongue warm-up exercises in acting classes, like singers do vocal warm-ups. At least Victoria managed to say words, even if they didn't make much sense. Sometimes actors don't just say the wrong word, they say words that don't even exist. Elizabeth shows that, when in doubt, just talk nonsense in a silly voice. It's like she's on the Muppet Show rather than victorious. At least being silly gets everyone else laughing, rather than complaining that you forgot your line again. One measure of a true professional is their ability to keep on going when they've messed up.
No, seriously, I'll sing or dance, or I could just stand on the front like...
At least she managed to stand up on a piece of furniture this time. It was just the words that escaped her.
Float, like right in front, and just... Sorry, I tried to keep going.
We wonder how many times the actors on Victorious successfully managed to cover up their mistakes, and how many times unscripted lines made it into the show.
I meant the rapper from whom Beck's daddy purchased his vehicle.
Of course, most of the time things go wrong by accident, not on purpose. Like the time when Victoria was sitting at the table with Leon Thomas. It wasn't her fault that she got taken by surprise by a ball flying across the table. It surprised Leon, aka Andre Harris, too. That's yet another prop to add to the list of things to avoid on set. A lot of actors on Nickelodeon shows have also trained as singers and dancers, so it makes sense that they might slip into a little song and dance number naturally, like when Daniela broke into a silly song and dance when she messed up her lines.
So listen, I'm totally gonna win. Sorry.
It's totally adorable and a pretty clever way of diffusing any stress about the situation. We're finishing up with another blooper that isn't totally accidental. Well, at least that's the case for one of the actors. When Elizabeth deliberately jumped out to surprise her co-stars, she knew what she was doing. It certainly lightened the atmosphere, and Elizabeth looked pretty pleased with herself, even giving herself a clap. If you love all these peeks behind the scenes, then you'll want to check out the Season 2 finale of the series. The episode is called Blooptorious and is packed full of the cast's major mess-ups. So that's a wrap on the best bloopers in Victorious. Which blooper made you laugh the most? Be sure to let us know in the comments. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.